The ring your mother left you. The one your daughter already called dated, right to your face. The one you have looked at 10,000 times and, somewhere along the way, stopped truly seeing. It sits in the little dish on the dresser, or in the back of the jewelry box under the tangled chains, and the whole family agrees it is old-fashioned. Tonight I am going to tell you something the family never stopped to consider. Some old wedding and engagement sets, plain ones, quiet ones, the kind nobody would look at twice, have quietly sold for 4 figures, a few for 5, and the one most likely to be sitting in your dresser drawer right now is waiting at number 1. So before you let anyone talk you out of it, let us find out together what you are really holding. Here is the truth most folks never hear. The value of an old ring is almost never the size of the stone. It is the cut of that stone, the era it was made, the metal it is set in, and the little maker's mark hidden inside the band where nobody thinks to look. Get those 4 things right, and a plain old ring the family calls tired can quietly outprice the flashy modern one beside it. Now let me be honest with you, the way a real dealer would. My name is Walter Ashford. For 40 years I have bought and sold at estate sales, farm auctions and house clearances across the Midwest, and I will tell you plainly, I am a dealer, not a certified appraiser. That is exactly why I will give you the plain truth instead of a sales pitch. And here is the first piece of it. Most old rings are worth their gold weight and no more. Your ring is almost certainly not the record diamond that crossed an auction block for a fortune. This is general information to help you see what you own. It is not a formal appraisal, and values move with condition, the market, and the day. But the gap between a $200 ring and a $12,000 one hides in plain sight, and you can learn to see it tonight. Remember this, because it runs through every ring on this list. The name on the front is the story they tell you. The mark inside the band is the truth. Turn it over. Read the inside of the band. Believe what it tells you. Number 10. The plain, thin, worn-down gold wedding band. I am starting right here on purpose, because I respect you too much to inflate this. That smooth old band with the shine worn off the edges, 14 karat, maybe a little engraving gone soft inside, that one is honestly worth its gold, and not a penny more. At today's prices, a small band like that, 3 to 5 grams, melts down to somewhere around $200 to $400, and a scrap buyer will hand you less than that, because he pays a fraction of melt and keeps the rest. That is the floor. Fair enough, but here is your test tonight, and it matters for every ring after this one. Take a loupe, or your reading glasses, and a good lamp, and read the inside of the band. If all it says is 14 karat, and the metal is all there is, then you know. The mistake I watch people make is the opposite one. They decide every old ring in the box is just this, and they sell the good ones by weight, right along with the plain one. Do not do that until you have read all 9 that follow. Number 9. And this one is less a treasure than a key that unlocks the rest. The mark stamped inside the band. Turn any old ring toward the light and look at the inner wall of the shank. You are hunting for numbers and tiny letters. 14K, or 18, or 22, or the European way of saying the same thing. 585, 750, 916, and then, if you are lucky, a maker's mark, a little set of initials, or a symbol, punched in beside the metal stamp. That mark is a signed, dated confession, and almost nobody bothers to read it. It is the whole difference between an anonymous old ring sold for melt and a signed one that brings many times more. Your test tonight is simply to find those marks and write down exactly what they say, letter for letter. The loss I see most often here breaks my heart a little. Somebody takes the ring to be cleaned and polished, and the buffing wheel wears those marks away forever, and half the story goes with them. Number 8. The white ring the family calls some old silver thing. Pick it up. If it feels oddly heavy for its size, and it has never tarnished, never gone dark or dull, the way silver and worn white gold do, you may be holding platinum. Platinum came into rings around the turn of the last century, through the Edwardian years and the Art Deco years that followed. And here is a fact worth knowing. During the Second World War, the War Production Board declared platinum a strategic war metal and banned it from civilian jewelry altogether. That is why a genuine pre-war platinum ring is a finite thing. For years, they simply stopped making them. Antique platinum wedding bands on the estate market have sold from around $400 for a plain one into the low thousands for an engraved Art Deco band. Your test tonight. Look for a little plat, or the number 950, stamped inside, and feel the weight, because platinum runs about 60% denser than gold. The loss? Handed across a we buy gold counter that pays nothing for it, because it is not gold. And the fellow behind the counter knows exactly what it is. Number 7. The old colored stone. The blue sapphire. The red ruby. That the whole family assumes is glass, or just treated. Here is what almost nobody knows. Nearly all the sapphires sold today, 90% and more, have been heated in a furnace to force their color. A natural, unheated old stone is genuinely rare. Only about 1 in 100 is fine enough to sell without heat. And a natural, untreated sapphire has sold for 2 to 5 times what the same heated stone brings. At the very top, a fine, unheated cashmere sapphire has realized a small fortune per carat at auction. Now, let me be honest, the way a dealer should. Most old colored stones are treated, and modest, and pretty, and that is all they are. But the one untreated stone is the month's rent. You cannot test heat treatment at your kitchen table, so your test tonight is only to notice the tells that it might be old and worth checking. An old hand-cut shape, soft silky lines inside the stone, and then have that one looked at in person, with a proper lab report, before you ever let it go. Number 6. The Victorian ring the family finds a little strange, the one with 2 stones leaning together, or worse, the little gold snake coiled around the finger. I know, the snake ring gives people the shivers, but turn that instinct clean around. When Prince Albert proposed to Queen Victoria in 1839, he gave her a gold serpent set with an emerald. The snake meant eternal love, and it set a fashion that ran for 60 years. The 2-stone ring has a name, Toi et moi, French for you and me. These are Victorian romance, cut and set by hand. Antique Toi et moi and snake rings have sold from a few $100s into the tens of thousands, depending on the stones. And Napoleon's own Toi et moi, the original, crossed a French auction block back in 2013 for nearly $1 million. That is the ceiling, not a promise. Your test tonight. Look for old hand-cut stones, engraving worn soft with age, and high-carat gold with a closed back. The loss I see, donated as creepy, or snapped apart for the gold. Number 5. The lacy, delicate ring, somebody dismissed as worn out. This is the Edwardian style, roughly 1901 to the First War. The trick of that era was platinum laid over gold. A thin skin of strong white platinum on top, warm gold underneath, worked into filigree so fine it looks like lace, edged with tiny beading they call millgrain. It looks fragile. It is not. Edwardian platinum and diamond filigree rings have sold in the low to mid thousands, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a lovely one, and 3 stone examples into the 5 figures. One crossed at over 28,000. Your test tonight. Hold it to the light and look at the pierced gallery under the stone. That hand-cut lacework is the signature, and no factory makes it that way today. The loss? The delicate mount gets cold tired and dropped in the melt jar, and the lace goes with it. Now, before we get to the top 4, there is something almost nobody stops to realize. The rings that turn out to be worth real money almost never look expensive. Appearance keeps lying to people. What actually decides the value is a small handful of signals: the cut of the stone, the era of the design, the metal, and the mark inside the band. And every one of those things is learnable. You do not need a diploma. You need a loupe, a lamp, and the patience to turn the ring over before you hand it to anyone. Keep that in your pocket, because the top 4 are where it all comes together. Number 4. And here I have to slow you down, because this one costs people the most. The ring where the mounting is worth more than the stone. Everybody stares at the diamond and asks how big is it, but an old hand-pierced platinum mount. The Art Deco filigree, the engraved shoulders, the millgrain laid down by a person, one bead at a time. That mount is a piece of craftsmanship no modern factory reproduces cheaply. Collectors buy the mount. Antique platinum settings on their own have sold for hundreds into the low thousands, often more than the little old diamond sitting in them. Your test tonight. For once, ignore the stone. Look only at the metalwork, the piercing, the engraving, the beading. The loss I see most often, and it makes me wince every time. A jeweler offers to reset your diamond into something modern and fresh, and to do it, he pops the stone and scraps the antique mount for melt. He has just thrown away the most valuable part of your ring. Never let anyone melt the mount. Number 3. The signed ring nobody in the family ever thought to look for. A signature from Tiffany & Company, from Cartier, from Van Cleef & Arpels, is a maker's guarantee. The auction houses themselves list the signature as one of the very first things that sets the value. It multiplies what the identical unsigned ring would bring. Even a modest signed Tiffany gold and diamond ring, small stones and all, has crossed an auction block for over $1,000 on the strength of that name alone. And at the top, signed Cartier and Van Cleef rings have realized from the high hundreds of thousands into the millions. But here is the honest half. A forged signature is common, and a fake Tiffany stamp destroys value instead of making it. So finding a signature is not a reason to celebrate yet. It is a reason to have the ring authenticated in person by a qualified appraiser before you trust it. Your test tonight. Loop the inside of the band and the gallery for a name and a little number, and read it slowly, letter by letter. The loss? Sold as unsigned, for scrap, because nobody thought to look. Number 2. The old diamond somebody swears is low quality, because it does not strobe like the ones on television. Take a breath, because this is one of the great misunderstandings in the whole business. Before the modern machine-cut brilliant, diamonds were cut by hand, by candlelight and gaslight. The old mine cut, the 1700s to the 1890s, has a soft squarish shape, a tall top, and a little open window at the very bottom called the cullet. The old European cut, the 1890s into the 1930s, is round, with chunky facets and that same open cullet. They were made to glow warm and slow, not to sparkle sharp, and collectors chase them now, precisely because they are old and handmade, and unlike anything modern. Documented antique cut stones have sold at a real premium over comparable modern diamonds, and a fine one goes very far. A single 4-carat old mine diamond once crossed a Christie's block for more than $1 million. Even a 1-carat old European solitaire in its antique platinum mount has sold comfortably into 5 figures. Now hear me, because this is the costly part. Do not, ever, let anyone recut it to make it sparkle. Recutting burns off a fifth or more of the weight and erases the very oldness that is the value. Your test tonight: look straight down through the top of the stone. If you see a tiny circle, a little window, right in the center, that is the open cullet of an old cut, and that little window is money. And that brings us to number 1. The ring most likely sitting in your dresser this very minute, the one your daughter called dated. The plain old ring that turns out to be an Art Deco platinum filigree, set with an old European cut diamond, 1920s into the 30s. Look at what it is. Everything we just counted lives inside this single ring. The hand-cut old European stone with its open cullet. The antique platinum mount worth more than the stone. The platinum metal itself. And, more often than you would ever guess, a maker's mark stamped inside the band. It is geometric, a little severe, not soft and sparkly like a modern ring, and that is the exact reason the family calls it old-fashioned. Rings like these have quietly sold from around $2,000 to $3,000 for a modest one, up to $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, and beyond for a good stone. One documented Deco platinum ring, appraised at close to $12,000, another 3 stone at $15,000. A few autumns back, a woman named Winifred set a small ring on my table and asked what she could get for it at the gold counter. Because her own daughter had told her it looked like something out of a museum, I turned it over. Platinum, an old European stone with that little window in the bottom, and a maker's mark inside the band. She had very nearly sold her mother for the price of a tank of gas. That, right there, is the whole reason I do this. You were the one who could not throw it away. And that instinct was right the entire time. A ring like that stopped being an object a long time ago. It became her. And a memory does not get appraised. So do not sell it to the first person who calls it dated. Have it looked at in person by a qualified appraiser with a proper lab report before you ever let it go. Now, I will not inflate this for you either. Not every old ring is the Deco platinum treasure. Most, as I told you back at number 10, are their gold weight and nothing more. But the value was never in whether the family thought it was pretty or dated. Fame is not value, and neither is fashion. The very thing everyone recognizes and calls old-fashioned is so often the thing worth the most, because the whole world stopped looking at it. Before I let you go, tell me down in the comments. What is the oldest ring in your jewelry box, and whose hand did it come off of? Your mother's? A grandmother's? An aunt who never married and left it to you? I read every one, and the story of who wore it is half the value. Next time, we do exactly this, For the brooches and the lockets sitting in the same box, and the one little pin nearly every family owns that quietly outprices the ring beside it. So before you clear out a single drawer, before you take the first dollar anyone offers you for your mother's rings, turn it over, read the inside of the band, and believe what it tells you. What everyone recognizes is almost never the thing worth the most, because the whole world already has one. I'll see you at the next table.